Good morning, Tom. My father passed away a few weeks ago, and he left behind credit card debt. I know him and my mom have a revocable trust. I'm just wondering, are we to keep paying those credit card bills off? Are we required to notify the credit cards of his death? What is the procedure for the credit card debt?
The trust they had was a joint trust, correct?
Yes.
And this credit card debt was your dad's credit card only.
Correct.
So, Amanda, this is a situation that when your dad passed away, everything automatically went to your mother. There is no estate for your father. Therefore, there's no place for creditors to file claims. Therefore, your father's credit card debt legally does not have to be paid by your mom or your family unless you guys want to take a moral position. You want to pay that credit card. But from a legal perspective, you do not need to pay it. You would simply write them a letter, say, Dad's passed away, there's no estate, you're not getting paid.
Oh, really? I just write him a letter or send him a death certificate or anything?
You could send him a death certificate if you want to. Now, if you want to, you could throw that credit card bill right in the trash. But, yeah, it's nicer to write him a letter and say, Dad's passed away, here's his death certificate, there's no probate estate for you to file a claim.
Wow, okay. So legally, I don't have to pay it. Just send them a thank you very much.
You got it, Amanda.
Wow. All right, Tom. I really appreciate that. That relieves a lot of pressure here.
All right, Amanda. Thank you for calling. We appreciate it. Chrissy, since I got that phone call, I want to say one other distinction, and I thought somebody emailed me earlier, and we answer email legal questions all the time. Their situation was similar to Amanda's, except that this email indicated to me that Dad had his own trust, not a joint living trust between Mom and Dad. Mm-hmm. Since Dad had his own trust, in that situation, Dad's trust would be responsible for Dad's credit card bills.
Okay.
So that's the distinction I made between that email and what Amanda just asked us about.
I think that distinction is important for people to hear.
Yeah, exactly. So if the child was the successor trustee to Dad's individual trust, it would be that child's job as successor trustee to make sure that creditor claims get paid. Mm-hmm. And that credit card would be a legitimate claim that if they file a claim in the estate, they would have to pay it.
And you're saying then, too, even though, of course, Dad may have signed that credit card in his individual name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because in Amanda's situation, Mom and Dad owned everything jointly. Mm-hmm. Everything automatically goes to Mom when Dad passes away. In this situation, Dad passed away with the trust and assets in his name only. Therefore, those assets are subject to creditor claims of Dad's estate. Doctors, hospitals, credit cards, etc.
If there's a probate.
Well, no. In all situations, remember that when Dad passed away, the law requires that the successor trustee file a notice of trust with the probate court. That's not a probate. That's just a notice of trust so that people wanting to know, hey, Dad has passed away. Where do I file a claim? How do I get paid? Doctors, hospitals, credit cards. Mm-hmm. They'll find this notice of trust, and they'll know the name of the successor trustee, the address of the successor trustee. They'll know where to send the bill to. Successor trustee is obligated to pay those legitimate bills. If they don't, then successor trustee can be personally liable for it.
So I think it's important to distinguish from the caller, from the recent caller.
Caller, Mom and Dad had a joint living trust. Mm-hmm. That means all goes to Mom automatically. The email that I got, Dad had his own separate living trust. Sometimes we find married couples where he's got her trust and she's got her trust. And for different reasons, mm-hmm. it's unusual, but sometimes they do have separate trusts, and that would be the situation. So in that separate trust situation, if the successor trustee were to simply hand out all of Dad's assets and said, okay, we're done, well, successor trustee is personally liable for Dad's debts for up to 2 years. So successor trustee's job, part of their job description, is to make sure that legitimate creditors get paid, and that goes on for up to 2 years.